Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. I am so glad you're joining me today because we are diving straight into a strictly no-fluff, highly practical emergency safety briefing, and it's specifically designed for all of you San Diego homeowners out there. We're going to break down exactly what you need to know about gas leaks, how to spot them, and exactly what to do when you suspect one. We're keeping it clear, specific, and totally actionable. So let's jump right in.
So let me ask you this right off the bat. What does a natural gas leak actually smell like? We all kind of have this idea in our heads of what gas smells like, right? But here is a wild fact. Natural gas, all on its own, has absolutely zero odor. Literally none. That recognizable scent you're thinking of, it's a completely manufactured warning system. Right, so that smell is actually a chemical additive called mercaptan. Utility companies deliberately mix this stuff into the natural gas supply, specifically so that we can detect leaks by scent. It's got that undeniable rotten egg or sulfur smell. But, and this is a massive but, relying on your sense of smell alone is incredibly risky. Think about it. What if you have a bad cold? Or what if you're dealing with some age-related scent loss? That is exactly why we've got to look way beyond just the smell.
Okay, here's our quick game plan for today's explainer. We're going to cover spotting a gas leak, the immediate action plan, some specific San Diego risk factors, and finally, gas versus carbon monoxide. Let's get to it.
All right, Section 1, spotting a gas leak. We'll call this the before phase. You know, a leak usually gives itself away in a pretty specific sequence. Smell comes first, sound is second, and a physical reaction is third, usually if the leak goes unnoticed for a bit too long. Obviously, that rotten egg smell indoors means an active leak. But what about sound? A hissing or whistling noise near your meter and appliance. That means gas is escaping under pressure. And visually, this is crazy, but look out for a strip of dead or discolored plants or grass over a buried gas line. An underground leak literally starves the nearby roots of oxygen. You might even see bubbles in standing water or wet mud near the meter. Or, perhaps the most subtle clue of all is a rising gas bill when your usage hasn't changed at all. That's a dead giveaway of a slow, silent leak.
Then, we've got the physical reactions. If you're experiencing headaches, dizziness, nausea, or fatigue, you need to pay very close attention to where those symptoms happen. Here is the ultimate location test. If your sickness completely fades the second you step outdoors into the fresh air, but suddenly comes rushing back when you go indoors, that is a huge red flag. It's a clear signal that the air inside your home is the problem, and you could absolutely be breathing in leaking natural gas.
Moving right along to Section 2, the immediate action plan. Basically, what to do during a leak.
Now listen, I need to shift gears for a second, because these are mandatory life safety rules. This isn't just a friendly suggestion, this is absolute protocol. You've got to follow this exact 4-part sequence. Step 1, get everyone, including your pets, out of the house immediately. Don't go hunting for the leak, just leave. Step 2, and this is where so many people make a critical mistake, do not flip any light switches, do not use your cell phone inside, and definitely do not light anything. Escaping gas is highly flammable. Even a tiny, practically invisible spark from just dialing a phone or flipping a switch can ignite built-up gas in an enclosed space. Step 3, make your calls only once you are safely outside. And Step 4, under no circumstances do you go back inside until the utility company officially gives you the green light. You simply cannot judge gas concentration just by how you feel. So who are you actually calling? After dialing 911, this is your hard takeaway. Grab your phone right now and save this. 1-800-611-7343. That is the San Diego Gas and Electric 24-hour gas emergency line. But remember the golden rule. You only press call on that number once you're standing safely outside your home or over at a neighbor's place.
All right, Section 3, San Diego risk factors. We're looking at the after phase here.
So where are these leaks actually coming from in our own backyard? Most residential gas leaks in San Diego trace straight back to gas furnaces, wall or floor heaters, and gas water heaters. If you live in an inland community, places like El Cajon, La Mesa, or Santee, pay close attention. These areas have a lot of housing stock built right between the 1950s and the 1980s. A ton of these homes are still running original or early replacement HVAC systems. Over decades of use, those aging connections and shutoff valves are incredibly susceptible to loosening or corroding. And here is a super vital piece of info. Do not just trust your furnace's built-in safety switch. Yeah, some furnaces shut off gas flow during specific internal faults, but they won't reliably catch a loose fitting or a cracked line that sits just outside those controls.
I mean, the furnace could be running perfectly fine while the connection right next to it is silently leaking gas into your home.
Now, if you do call SDG&E for an active emergency, their response to come out and make the home safe carries zero charge to you. That's the good news. But once the home is cleared, the job shifts over to an HVAC professional to actually find and fix the appliance that caused the whole mess. For a leak detection or diagnostic visit from a local HVAC pro, you can expect a rough estimate of about $100 to $250. That covers the diagnostic phase, to pinpoint the exact loose connection or cracked line on your equipment.
Okay, on to our final section, gas versus carbon monoxide. Let's clear this up once and for all.
We really need to clear up some major homeowner confusion here, because honestly, it can be deadly. Both of these hazards come from the exact same fuel-burning appliances, but they are entirely different beasts. A gas leak is raw, unburned fuel escaping into your home. It carries that manufactured mercaptan smell, you might hear a hissing sound, and the main risk is fire or a literal explosion. Carbon monoxide, on the other hand, is a byproduct of gas that is already burned, usually incompletely because of something like a cracked heat exchanger. It is completely odorless and totally silent. The risk here is direct poisoning. While the physical symptoms like headaches and nausea overlap between the two, carbon monoxide will never ever give you that rotten egg smell or a hissing warning. And that is exactly why your home requires a solid gas leak response plan and working CO detectors.
And before we wrap up today, I have got to bust a massive myth. There's absolutely no such thing as a harmless little gas leak. Even a small leak carries real risk. There's just no safe threshold where you can say, oh, I'll just wait it out. Natural gas is flammable at fairly low concentrations in the air. A leak that seems totally minor right now can easily worsen before anyone even notices. Look, if you smell it, even faintly, you execute that leave and call routine immediately. No exceptions.
So I want to leave you with this to think about, especially for those of you in our beautiful older San Diego neighborhoods. Are those aging 30 or 40-year-old furnace connections sitting right inside your walls, just silently waiting to fail? It's kind of a scary thought, right? But understanding the risks of aging infrastructure really highlights the immense value of proactive safety inspections for your home's heating systems. Seriously, don't wait for that rotten egg smell to find out you've got a problem. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer today. Stay safe and be proactive with your home.